Good evening, guys. DeathClock Dave here, and welcome to another Wednesday night live stream battle report recap. This evening we had myself playing Cory Doyle. I was playing my Convergence pairing of Father Lucant in Clockwork Legions and Iron Mother in Destruction Initiative. And Cory, what was your pairing this evening?
Zul2 in the Immortal theme, and then Makeda3 in Imperial Warhost.
And we talked about this beforehand and decided to do Makeda3 versus Lucant because Clockwork Legions does not like to be into any of the Skorne souliness because they can prevent soul collection and all that kind of fun stuff. So that would have been a very sad time. So we just kind of planned this out. So we were scenario 4, which is Invasion, and Cory won the role and opted to go first. Particular reason for that, just to get
one to get the board and force an early feat.
Gotcha.
The earlier you feat, it allows me the option to either back up or engage depending on what you place.
Right, gotcha. Yeah, I'm excited to get back into Clockwork Legions. This is the first time I have played it since the new Clockwork Legions changes came in. So the big thing being that the Enigma Foundries now respawn guys in the maintenance phase. It's completely within 2 inches of the Enigma Foundry. They have removed the within 3 inches of another model requirement, and it's now just in formation. So that's pretty great. The other huge thing is that they no longer have to sack their combat actions, so they are fully functional when they get brought back. So placement is very key for that portion of it. So definitely going to take some learning there, but I'm excited to get back into some Clockwork Legions. So we are playing scenario 4, which is Incursion. Invasion, not Incursion. That's not a thing anymore. That was the worst one. So scenario 4, which is Invasion, we have a circular zone on either flank, which are Warcaster, Warlock units. We have a central rectangular zone, which is vertically oriented. That is Warbeast, Warjack, Warcaster, Warlock, Battle Engine, and then we have 2 objectives, and I believe we both chose Healing. So
yeah, because I'm lazy.
Yeah, Healing, well, we didn't really need Pathfinder quite as much, and magical weapons.
Yeah, Makeda can always use Pathfinder.
Yeah.
You're not going to proc a free strike, right?
It's...
Take that attack of opportunity on one of my unit, make me even better.
Yeah, it seems good. Neither of us needed magical weapons for anything. There's no incorporeal or anything on the table. So just looking at the table, I'll just talk a little bit about the terrain as we get prepped here. Oh, we're talking about our theme benefits. So what are your theme benefits for Imperial?
2 inches of deployment. So I deploy 9 on going first, and then I have hyper aggressive on all of my battle group, and I get free Agonizer, Krea, or solos.
Okay, cool. So for Clockwork Legions, I get free stuff, of course. All of the medium base units get Vengeance. All of the shield wall units get Advanced Move, which allows them to get really far up the board early, which is awesome. And my Enigma Foundries become FA4. I can also take Eilish if I wanted to, but I don't. So how are you deploying here, Cory?
Just on the board.
Yeah, that makes sense.
My standard deployment, just models on the board. I put Makeda in the middle. I'm going to try and play around that house. I want to be able to get insight to where I need it and move her reactively. I put Molik on the right because that's the side of the board I want to take because I'm right-handed.
Makes sense.
I tend to move to my right. And then I make a couple of small mistakes in deployment. I'm lazy with my Paingivers and I want to base them early and I keep forgetting to. So I put Zaadesh on the bottom side because that gives me the Raider, the 2 Shaman to sort of hold that zone and have a gunfight.
And Zaadesh is the white model at the very far left flank?
Okay. On the right of the bottom. And then he's got the Raider and the the Gladiator on him.
Okay, cool. So I'm deploying. It gets pretty gummed up because there's so many guys. So I'm putting Lucant in the middle because I want him kind of sitting in that rubble, and I want him in a good spot to cover most of the board with deceleration or deflection, whatever it's called now. It's my tokens. My tokens are wrong now, so because it changed. So I've got on the far right flank, I have a full unit of reciprocators. I have an Enigma Founder following them. I have a Conservator, next is the Corollary, and then I have Lucant. To the left of Lucant, I have a Corollary. Sorry, I have 2 Enigma Foundries in behind the right flank. And then the Conservator to the left of Lucant, the 2 Enigma Foundries just behind, and then full unit of Obstructors. Full unit of reciprocators on the far left flank, and then a min unit of reductors behind the left flank, and then I have my mechanics mixed in near Lucant as well. So for terrain on the board, we have at the very bottom, a trench. Above that, we have a hill. To the right of that, we have water. Above that, we have a forest. To the left of that and above a little bit, we have another forest or another hill. To the left of that, a forest. In the middle of the board is a house, and the entire template is the obstruction. And then we have rubble right in front of my deployment zone there, which is rough terrain and cover if you're fully within. So I went ahead and I did my advanced deploy of my angels on my far right flank, hoping to get them onto the hill in spots where they could shoot targets of opportunity. I've of course put them right in the way for my advanced move for my shield ball guys, so that's pretty great. So I have moved the entire left flank up and then my right flank up. So I really like that ability because it allows this potentially slow army to get far up the board pretty quick. So, and that's over to you, Cory, after I point out all my stuff.
That's because you like showing off your models.
Yes, they're very nicely painted, all of them.
I'll paint mine soon, I swear. I swear I will.
The mantra of every gamer.
So I think I dirtled a bunch. So this is only my 4th game with Makeda. I think it's my 4th. I'm pretty sure it's my 4th. Like, I haven't played a ton of Makeda games. Or a 4th game of this list, because I played some with the Turtle. Those games are garbage.
Makeda's pretty good, though.
Makeda's, she's okay. She's okay. So effectively, I measure a bunch of stuff because I'm dumb and I haven't done all the pre-math in my head. So I'm just deciding whether like it's safe for Makeda to be all the way out the board. Then I remember she's like Def 17, Armor 16 with a transfer.
I also have a lot of shooting.
And you have like 5 shots?
Yeah.
So like I think I'm good.
We're at 5.
I think it takes me 8 minutes to get there.
Excellent.
And then I realize that and then I go for it.
Yep.
So I'm just going to blitz as fast at the board as I can. Makeda's able to move 11 on the first turn plus get her spells because she can walk 6 and then Molik Karn's Repo 5. Mm-hmm. Which is handy. I make a ton of mistakes, actually. I just realized I may have cheated, and I am sorry. Oh. I didn't measure to make sure that guy was in control when he ran.
Okay.
He might have been out of control.
Nice. I win, guys. I win. Cory forfeits immediately.
Immediately.
Yes. And so that the white 3 models there are her unit. I'm going to spread out lots because you are a command of 10. And they are shield guards, you said, too?
Yeah, her unit is shield guards.
Nice.
And they're also dual attack with overtake. So
that's pretty nice. So they
not dual attack, sorry, two melee attacks.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. So they can easily just her unit alone can get a lot of work done.
So now I spam a bunch of rush out because that's just what I want.
Plus 2 movement and Pathfinder is good.
Effectively, I want to get Molik and the Brutes up as far as I can.
Yep.
And then base into the back of my caster.
Yep, just shy of the middle of the table. Hey, Cory, why are you putting them base to base?
Oh, I have a spell called Bulwark.
Oh.
Yeah. So Makeda casts Bulwark and Molik's Animus and threw 2 focus away.
Hey, guys, know what Bulwark does.
It's plus 2 defense and cannot be knocked down.
Correct. 1 base to base with any model in the battle group. Yeah. So this list, it's deceptively high defense when you first look at it. It's not your typical battle group heavy list because you start at like 15 and work your way up from there-ish, right? Yeah. Because the Brutes have set defense as well. So
the Brutes are all 13. The Cyclops are all 13, including Molik. Mm-hmm. So my base 15, defense is 13. Bulwark takes me to 15 if you can't get around it.
And 17 for the set defense with the Brutes. Yeah. So that's pretty. And if all the buffs are up, it's also 17 defense versus shooting, which is really bad. So
and because of rush and everything, speed 6, it's actually deceptively really quick.
It gets very
13. Yeah. But for getting up the board turn 1, I can run 14. And Molik,
looks like Molik's in the middle of the table there.
Molik can actually trample.
And then repo effectively.
So he can trample. I think I actually under trample him there.
Because you're 6, plus 2 is 8, plus 3 is 11, and then you move 5 after that. So that's 16 inches. That's redonkulous.
And then I can run the brutes up to just about base the back of his model.
At that point, your main issue is your Fury 6. keeping him in your control. So that's really
like I said, I realize now I didn't think about it early because I'm so used to playing Warmachine that I made a mistake there, and I think the Savage was outside of my 12 along with that group.
Gotcha.
The Molik and the group were in, but those two would have been out.
Okay.
So I apologize.
All good.
I will not make that mistake again.
Yeah.
I totally will.
Yeah. Mistakes are made every game. It's very rare that we have a perfect game, that anybody has a perfect game.
I think I've had one in my entire life, and it's on stream.
Nice.
Not your stream, though.
Oh, okay. You're the worst. So just rushing everything.
I realize now I've made some mistakes on Fury, and Frenzy is going to be a problem for me because I'm bad at math. So nice. I have 3 on Molik, 1 on each of the brutes beside him, and I have some of my initial battle group. So I'm definitely over on Fury.
Nice. So I don't like that he's this far up the board. Number one, I don't like going second with this list. I much prefer going first with this list so I can get farther up the board, like potentially a run on the first turn. Basically, in the position that I'm in now, I feel like I'm going to have to feat because of how far his stuff is. And if I really move, I've got Molik and friends charging me and stuff. So here I'm planning out where Lucant is going to end up. I want to try to put at least one of the ladies in the trench to bump her up to def 20 and get the decel bonus just to make them harder to kind of snipe off, basically holding that zone. And so here I am just moving up my obstructors, moving them up and keeping them in basically pods of 3 is typically what I like to I say typically, I think this is the 4th time I've played this list as well. And then shield walling so that they are just up there in the way, higher defense. I know that Makeda can get a lot of work done and her battle group can get a lot of work done, so I'm trying to have high enough armor that there's chances of rolls going south on the armor cracking potentially. So I've also moved up my reciprocators, kept them behind the forest to try and keep his Cyclopses from being able to charge me. They have also shield wall and set defense and moved the Enigma Foundry up in behind them to get ready to absorb all the juicy souls that are going to be forthcoming. Here the ladies go. They are just running. I'm just measuring to try and stay out of, I think at least force you to move with your, I think you can shoot me from there with the Raider. So you can potentially get one, but then I'll be able to bring them back possibly with the Enigma Foundries. I've moved up my far right flank reciprocators up and shield wall and set defense. So that puts them at 14, which is really nice against the charge. And then armor 20 base, which is great. With decel, they're going to be 22, and then with feet, 26 against shooting. And here I'm just moving up I moved up the Conservator, trying to get him in a spot where he can, once he gets Hand of Vengeance from the guys dying around him, that he'll be in a spot to potentially be a positive charge target and then charge in and have his buddies follow him, giving the bonus to all of the infantry. And I've also moved the Enigma Foundries up, just trying to place them. I've got my 10-inch stick handy and making sure that they're in positions where when one Enigma Foundry gets filled up, that it will spill over the next one if he's close enough. So trying to work on that placement there. I have moved Lucant up and cast decel. I also cast Watcher on myself just as a little bit of extra protection in the later game as his units get closer. So I don't have any arc nodes in this list, so in order to apply positive charge, Lucant needs to be quite far forward because it's only a range of 6. Again, just moving up the other Enigma Foundry, and then I ran my Galvanizer to be with the far left flank of Reciprocators to potentially be a positive charge target, but it's quite far away with no arc node. So, and that's over to you, Cory. Oh, and I have feeded as well, which I just about forgot. Don't do that, guys.
I'm going to ask a bunch of questions. I'm contemplating going after your cast right now.
Right.
Because I think... So the top pod of the small base shield wall guys, I think I can sort of like kill that with the two brutes with Molik, and And then if I can clear off...
Did we do your frenzies checks and stuff?
Not yet.
Okay, cool.
It happens in a second.
There we go.
Because I'm still contemplating whether I actually want to go for it.
Right.
I really just have to remove like 6 of your small base dudes, and then I probably just get to your caster with Molik on 4 attacks at dice off 3 and 1 transfer. There's my frenzy. So the Krea frenzies attacks the shaman.
Okay.
Does 4 points of damage.
Nice. First blood to me, I guess. Or to you, to me? I don't know.
I'm claiming it my victory.
I'm winning.
Sure. Seems right. This is the first time actually in, I think, our history of Warmachine, I'm actually down on clock to you also.
Ah, yes.
I did spend a lot of time.
I haven't played in 2 months, so I got faster somehow. That's how that works, right?
That seems right. So now I've decided I'm just going to back up and eat your feet turn.
Yeah, my threat ranges are very predictable. I'm max of 10 effectively, unless you somehow proc some sort of a fancy move like Watcher or something.
Or Vengeance.
So it's very, this list is very predictable and it's easy to stay out of the threat ranges. So no fancy movement jinx there. So that's a 10-inch stick?
It's a 10-inch stick.
Yeah. So
I'm just going to move Molik back to protect him because I think Molik is probably the most important piece in my army early game because the amount of work he can get done just removing a unit.
Yep.
Because the sidestep allows me to dig deep, and his threat of 13 with 2 sidesteps gets him like a 17-inch reach out.
Yeah, pretty redonkulous. Hey Cory, my feet turn prevented any models from being killed.
I did.
Yes.
Great feet turn.
Victory. I didn't lose a single model on feet turn, guys.
I think if you went first, I have to try.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because I would have been farther up the board. I definitely like being, because then I can run on that first turn rather than having to worry about shield walls. So that puts me basically at the center line.
Or a more live scenario. I think if we're a more live scenario, I'm definitely more active in the game. Like right now, I'm giving you my Raider, which I'm not going to use because I don't care about the guns this game.
Yeah. All you have to do is have something.
He's on the cutting block of my list.
Yeah, I do like that he's got the precision.
I can trade him and the Savage for 2 more Brutes.
Okay. Brutes are pretty good.
Brutes are
FAU, I'm assuming.
FAU. Yeah, they're beasts.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I don't want to spam though. So 3 of anything is the max I really want to run.
I do like because he can stack his movement though, the Raider, right, and see through
arcane precision,
and stuff.
And then he has Far Strike as an animus.
Yeah.
So he also gets Far Strike to the 2 ghost shots.
Removing a key heiress or something is pretty sweet. So.
His rat 5 hurts. I guess 7 with insight.
He can often sit to aim though, right?
Yeah.
Those because you're 14 base or 14.
7 aiming is still a 9-hit heiress. Like you're still only hitting 60% of the time.
If only you could boost.
Well, that's me. You're still hitting 60% of the time.
No,
you miss on an 8 or a 7. So
yeah.
Those go up quite a lot on 3 dice for me.
Yep. Yeah. On
the flip side, the 10, 11, 12 come up a lot also.
It all balances out.
So I think he walked up and shot at the one in the trench. So the Raider shoots the one in the trench. The Gladiator just sort of stays outside of threat.
She's like def 20 or something.
And then everything just sort of backs up. I just sort of jam stuff into, and I'm still learning. So like I placed a few things wrong. I really regret that later in the game. But what I'm trying to do is draw you out so I can just feed with Makeda. I turn the Krea around. I totally didn't cheat, I swear.
So here's a question. With how far you are out, I guess you still out threat me. Could I have backed up and just towed zones and made it harder for you to dig in deep?
Correct. Yeah, you could have also spread out and just given me a couple of models. Instead, you fight a couple of models and then you have to give me stuff.
Okay, that could have been interesting because if I just kind of like ringed around the very outside edge of the zone.
Sorry to cut you off. I was worried that you were going to go for the bottom zone really hard, and then I was going to have to overcommit to the top zone.
Right, yeah, because you've got I guess technically you've really only got 3-ish models down that way, other than throwing away some beast handlers. So. Yeah, and I purposely went heavy on the left flank because I wanted to align the obstructors with your brutes because they have the teleflails, which are chain weapons, so they ignore your shield, so they can do some, if they could actually hit your def 17 with bulwark and set defense, but that ends up being a pretty decent damage swing when they can ignore your shield. So here I didn't have anything to do in my maintenance phase because nothing was dead. I upkept Watcher. The Raider was in range of 2 of the reciprocators, so I charged in with them. I can't remember if I empowered with them, or if I set defense. I use set defense the bulk of this game to try and
you empowered something.
prevent the counterattack.
You empowered on the charge.
On this turn, yeah. I was trying to do some good damage to the Raider. Did I shoot with the ladies first?
You did.
Yeah.
They did like 6 points.
Yeah, so trying to get some lucky shots on the Raider to try and put some damage on there.
I chose to not hyper aggressive.
Yes, I see that. Yeah, I was wondering. I'm like, well, if I shoot you, there's not really a whole lot of place you can go without leaving the zone. I guess technically you didn't need to be in the zone because this is 2B, right? Yep. Second player, second turn, so this is a scoring turn. So, I've also moved the Enigma Foundry just up in behind the right flank. Did I already activate the Conservator as well? Getting a little bit behind here. On the far left flank, I've moved up my Obstructors and just Shield Wall, just basically trying to put bodies in the way. I think this is probably where I should have just maybe spread out more. It's really hard with reach and with overtake and all the stuff that you have in sidestep. It's really hard. The positioning is very difficult to maximize all the crazy movement shenanigans that you can do. So on the far left flank, I have moved up my Reciprocators and Shield Wall. I've got them behind the forest I don't want his, because you've got 3 Cyclops there on your far right flank.
I've got the Savage, the Brute, a Brute, and a Shaman.
Yeah, so I didn't want them to be able to charge in, so I'm behind the forest. I just confirmed that he didn't have any silly stuff that allowed him to see through the forest, because I knew he was going to have to come forward, which would put my Reciprocators in a potentially a better spot. I also can't see through the forest, but they're in a spot where they can potentially be walking and swinging. And yeah, everything on the left flank just kind of moves up. I've got Deceleration up. I believe Lucant is sitting on a couple. I just run my my mechanics up just to kind of keep up in case there's any damage that comes around, and that's my turn. So really, I put a little bit of damage on the Raider, and that was basically it. Just trying to jam in the way and try to prevent his stuff from getting to Lucant if at all possible. I know he's going to kill a lot of stuff, but with the Makeda list, I don't think there's not a great way to get around that. Other than maybe if I just ran the Obstructors and tried to like just jam right in his face and kept everything else back or something. So that might have been a potential option, but it's pretty hard to deny what Makeda can do when you've got a bunch of dudes that are low defense, high-ish armor, but on average rolls he's killing all of my Obstructors no problem. So, and that is over to you, Cory. I think you're looking.
So I'm contemplating whether I'm going to send Makeda in or not send Makeda in. I think that's the point I'm at right now. The question, I'm a super tentative player. I don't know if anyone's ever seen me play Ostrom or any of the other casters I played. I don't really throw casters in the front, and Makeda is sort of the opposite. She wants to be super aggressive. So I'm just deciding, and again, eating more clock on where I want to put Makeda and if I want to do work with her. And then I decide, surprise, surprise, that Makeda is going to go on like a champ. It just takes me a long time to get there. I also, it's feet turn, right? So I'm just trying to find a place where I can put Makeda down and still have to move the minimum amount of models. I placed Makeda poorly, and I have a bunch of stuff sort of in the way. I think the Agonizer's up too far, and I could have left him back further. And one of the Shaman has to move. So I'm just deciding what needs to go where. I also have one of Makeda's unit in behind the Savage and the Brute on the top of the board. So it's also deciding what I want to do with those to get her free, because if she charges, Makeda gets extra fury. And I really want Makeda to have like 9 fury.
Yeah, that seems bad for me. You popped a ghost shot at my Enigma Foundry that's just beside my my objective, and I just shield guard it.
Yeah, I just need to get rid of the activation out of the way.
Yeah, shield guard to the Conservator.
And then I need to move the Krea. I need to move the Brute up top, because I need to get past the Brute with my charge. And then I just forget to move the Brute.
Forgetting stuff is good.
Then I realize it and realize I'm dumb, and then Makeda charges. So what that cost me is it's going to cost. Oh, you also opted not to free strike. I gave you the option.
Yeah, it was a trap. I heard Admiral Akbar whispering in my ear. I did not want to trigger battle driven.
So I need a 10 on the bottom to kill. I hit pretty easy because Insight's up. I'm at 8 base. I need a 10 to kill, and I think I roll like an 8, so I kill you on a super easy roll in the second shot. Makeda takes that fury, so she goes to 6 fury. And then she auto kills with every shot she takes.
Yeah,
so
basically.
Because if you're actually watching dice rolls, I just start rolling to hits.
I'm armor 18, so
and I'm POW 15 plus 2 is 17. So
yeah,
I
you can't not kill all of the obstructions.
So Dave's kind enough to not make me roll the dice.
I should have made you roll. You might have DeathClocked.
Way earlier.
So you're just Makeda's just
I don't clock
eating through all of the dudes right now. Just
yeah. So I'm trying to find a way to place through without giving up a free strike to the medium base unit, and I want to get within range to get as deep as I can, kill as much as I can, and not proc where he can walk through into me.
Yes,
which is probably dumb because I probably should just proc it, because even if you hit, which you will, I just transfer it.
It's POW 17. So,
I transfer it, and then I get battle driven for a turn. So I probably actually should have eaten it.
Yeah, it's not enough to, I mean, worst case scenario, maybe it takes out an aspect on something, but it's not really enough to swing the game. It's not enough to swing the game. So
Makeda basically goes through and chews out a unit and a half. I did cast an Eliminator to gain a 7th focus or Fury, and then I'm just spend 1, get it back, spend 1, get it back, spend 1, get it back, spend 1, get it back. Yeah, until I'm through basically the army.
Yep, she basically chews through everything until there's nothing left for her to get to. And this is maybe where I could have tried to spread out a bunch, but even then, with 2-inch reach and moving an inch, it's really hard with this many dudes. It's hard to prevent that placement.
I also did Blood Boon and Eliminator.
Oh, okay. Which would have given you an extra one.
Which gave me a
free one, basically.
Put me up to 8 and a 2-inch move.
Yeah. Yeah, so you have taken off, I believe. So you're in a spot now. So you have put yourself in a spot where you're not moving to proc Watcher.
Correct. And then I try and cast an Eliminator, which will pull me back out of Watcher. I miss. I needed a 4. And then I don't kill with the blast damage. So instead I just cast Molik Karn's Animus and back up. And I did boost blast damage. It just luck was not with me on that one.
Yeah. So I think at that point, that's the entire Obstructor unit. So that's 10 guys left, which makes me very sad.
I also killed the min unit, shy of 1.
Yes, exactly.
So that's 15 models Makeda killed on it?
Yep, that's pretty bad. So it's so that makes me very sad. My Enigma Foundries are effectively full, but unfortunately there's no unit for me to bring back. So that's kind of Recursion 101 is try and keep the leader back far enough so that you can actually bring them back. So that made me sad.
My next play is I want to deal with. I really need to deal with that 5-man unit, and you've left them just a little close. And I've got Molik and I've got Rush. So Molik gets rushed from, I believe, the Shaman.
And you can see to charge the far left guy on that right flank because the other guys were behind the forest. But you're able to see that guy. Yeah, so you're far,
my far.
And so that gives you a charge target, and then he's able to chew through those guys and sidestep.
I killed my first attack, so I remove a Fury off the Shaman. And then my second attack, I think, leaves you on a box, so I kill him on my bot attack. I then lose that one, I buy another one to go back to 1 Fury. So every time Molik is killing, I'm just taking a Fury back off him.
Yep. Basically fuels them for the entire turn until there's nothing left to kill.
I killed all 5 and then spent 2 for my Animus, and I killed all 5 of your dudes on basically one single bot attack.
Yep. Makeda and
I'm able to Fate Walker right back into base with the rest of my battle group.
Why would you be base Cory?
Bulwark.
Oh.
Well, you don't have a lot of open fists, right?
No. Well, I do. All of my guys.
Theoretically, you could slam Molik over my dudes. And then it would free him, but then he's basically going to live in behind.
Yeah, I was looking to see if there's potential throws and stuff, that sort of thing, to try and deny, because both of my heavies are 2 open fists. So, but so that's 2 full units gone. Have you already killed the last Reductor as well, or was that from
I walk up with
that was a shaman? Yeah, Shaman Ghost Shot managed to take out the last one because unfortunately I didn't have any shield guards left. So that's 3 full units gone now, which makes me very sad. So my left flank is crumpling. And you've moved dudes into the zone.
Well, that was my hope, was to crumple the top of the board, and then be able to just sort of contest the bottom with Paingivers and Zaadesh and that small block of dudes.
Yeah.
I forgot about Vengeance.
Yeah.
And then I forgot that your recursion was maintenance phase. So you get recursion, Vengeance, then charges. And I forgot it's the changes are new. So I went and killed 3 of your dudes and probably just should have left them.
Yeah.
And then just engage them. I said, well, you can't charge with those 3.
Yeah. So they are. So here I use the 2 Enigma Foundries that are there to bring 2 guys back, putting them in spots where they're going to be able to get a charge on the Titan. I'm planning out where I'm going to end up with Lucant. Lucant's in a scary position because I have some Cyclopses staring at me from the far left flank of that building. I want to get some positive charge out to try and get some work done. This is where the induction gets a little bit hairy with melee armies because when you charge, for example, you hand off the one focus for the induction, but then you're oftentimes out of range to induct the remaining focus. So that's where that gets a little tricky. So I'm doing my Vengeance. I could have walked forward and potentially taken a swing at the Titan, but then I'm too close to charge at that point, and I figured getting the charges off was going to be more beneficial than getting maybe 2 or 3 extra just base attacks on your armor 19 or whatever. So I've moved them into a place where I can get charges on the Titan there. The plan is to also put out a positive charge on both conservators if possible, to try and because I have the other conservator is to the left of Lucant, and that way I can try to get some work done. So I've allocated a couple of focus to the far left conservator, and I believe the Corollary is going to be allocating the focus to the right hand conservator. I believe I allocated at least 1 there just to try and get him fueled up. So he was able to take out the Titan, no problem, and he's got positive charge on him. So at that point, my reciprocators don't have a super great target because there's nothing really within the 3-inch bubble for positive charge other than your Exalted escort guy, which if I kill you get better anyway. So I just switch over to the left flank. Going for it, I'm just walking forward with a conservator because you have proc 10 to Vengeance actually on both of the conservators. So they are with positive charge. They are power strength 19
and Mat 10.
And Mat 10, which is really good.
Is the key.
Yep. Yes, because bulwark is huge. I'm still needing
5s.
Well, 5s, yeah. So, but yeah, I'm hitting at dice plus at this point.
Yeah, because I forgot the baby Agonizer.
Because that's Karn right there in front of me, right? Yep. Yeah, I wanted to make sure Karn dies because Karn is terrifying. So the conservator manages to take him out. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot else on the left flank to kind of follow up with that and take more advantage of the positive charge. I was able to get one of the focus, I believe, onto the Galvanizer there. And so he just wanders up and just swings. I think I boosted a swing because you're def 15, and I'm only mat 6, so that's sad time. So I think he swung and he did a little bit.
Nope, you missed.
I missed? Okay.
Yep.
Oh yeah, there's a couple of 1s in there, I think. So he's just kind of in the way, and he's also partially behind the forest there to try and block line of sight. And at this point, I've cleared the right-hand zone, so I know I'm going to be able to score there. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the reciprocators. I believe I decide to get a couple of them into your Raider. I'm going with the ladies next. I'm able to get them. So they're speed 7 and range 10, so I'm able to get them into a spot where I can combine all 3 of them into the Raider and pop a shot and then repo back to try and keep them safe. I can't remember what I did. Your Raider ends up being down to very little, and then the reciprocators charge in. I've got 2 of them on the Raider, and I believe the other ones I might put one on. I think I put one on your Exalted Court guy, and the other guys are just kind of running to keep up. And I believe I also did set defense just to try and keep them as hard to deal with as possible, because Def 14 on the charge is really nice. And at this point, I'm just moving my foundries up to be in positions to absorb whatever souls are there. There's not a whole lot left for them to do, because at this point I've lost so many dudes. So they're also playing blockers and playing the contesting game. And then I end my turn and I believe go up to 1 point at that point. So, and that's over to you, Cory. My army is looking pretty sad right now.
Yeah, I know at this point I just have to score equal to you, and I think I can like keep contesting the bottom until you just have nothing left on the top to go into the zone. So I'm just gonna like go pretty fury heavy right now, and attempt to remove the little jack on the top of the board with my Savage. I want my Brute to go in and help out to remove your the soul recursion dude that's topmost on the board.
Yep.
That'll free up my caster to move, or the 2 brutes to go in and kill the jack, because I need the jack dead.
He's definitely the heavy hitter in the list. So
I do have other options. I have 2 brutes, a shaman. I've enraged everything. So I have a bunch of enrage out.
You got a lot of beef on that side of the table.
So Makeda's just gonna go first. She's gonna cast Insight. She's going to try and stay relevant to every piece I need to kill. My intent on the bottom is to do no work. I have a trick I'm waiting for to help me score points to get ahead in the game, but right now I just need to stay even, being as turn 4. So if I can make like turn 6 and we're even, I can win this game. So I run real hot this turn. I'm pretty sure I ran all 3 brutes to full fury. Or no, the last brute. Yeah, I ran all 3 brutes to full fury. The Savage was on 2. Yeah. But the Savage is facing the Paingiver on the top of the board, so if it dies, I don't care. So again, I'm really high on fury. I've activated the Paingivers too early. I forgot to activate the baby elephant. So
I like that he's jammed back there and in a forest.
He's so
That's
useless,
pretty great.
right?
I know. I hate that guy. He can stay in the forest.
Your damage is so good it doesn't matter. So I'm able to, with the 3 brutes, actually remove your armor 20 jack, and I think I did it to a point too. I didn't have to bring the shaman in.
And I misjudged my reciprocators. I thought I had them in a spot that blocked the zone, but you're able to just get your Raider's toe in the zone there and prevent me from scoring on your turn. In hindsight, I should have ran.
I could have just put a Paingiver.
Yeah. I should have been running my mechanics, because they're basically useless right now. I should have run them to the far left flank and just fed one into the zone each turn.
So I move the Agonizer up, and I do nothing with them because I don't have Fury available. I remove as much Fury with the other unit of Paingivers as I can, and hopefully get ready to just run to contest zones with a Paingiver or 2 in the next turn.
Yep.
And then I score 1.
Yep.
Now, I do know, sorry to interrupt while you're going to talk your turn over, I do know that I am first player, so I need to be up in points, but for now I just need to be tied.
So we're starting to get pretty low on time, and I'm feeling the crunch because I don't have a lot of high value models, especially on the left flank. So the left flank is effectively protect Lucant and do what I can to contest the left zone while I continue to try and score on the right zone, because I've definitely got more of a presence on that right zone, because I've still got my heavy jack and my reciprocators and everything down there. So I have upkept Watcher this whole time just to kind of try and give Lucant that extra level of protection. And yeah, I believe, I can't remember if I cast Deceleration or not. I cast it most turns to try and...
You did not, because you cast double positive charge.
Oh yeah, double positive charge to get, try and get...
Oh, this turn? You casted this turn.
Okay, gotcha.
Last turn.
Yeah.
That was my bad.
Yeah. Yeah, so... Decel is pretty useful all the time. Like, you've got those even with the shaman shots and stuff. And if there's not, I guess the other thing is that he could just be camping, but giving me +2 armor anyway is pretty nice. So I managed to take out I believe I do a 3-man CRA into the Raider and take him out. So that
CMA.
CMA, and I do a 2-man into your Exalted Court guy to take him out, just trying to clear what I can on that side of the board. My ladies move up. I think 2 of them maybe got in range to try and shoot the very back Paingiver, because the one that's forward is actually engaged by my reciprocator, and I didn't want to potentially miss that. And here I'm just trying to figure out where I put Lucant. I actually considered doing like some silly like Corollary, positive charge, charging him in and trying to take out one of your brutes, but then there's so much to retaliate with that you have over there, and Lucant is still having to roll ridiculous numbers just to hit you with the bulwark and set defense and stuff, so I opt to keep Lucant to the right flank. So I have moved him over. I believe I cast D-Cell. I sat on some Fury or some Focus this turn. I don't think I really needed positive charge this turn. I didn't feel like there was any great targets for positive charge. On the left flank, I move the Enigma Foundry in just to touch the far left zone because I am running out of contesting pieces. And I definitely should have run my mechanics should have ran all the way to the far left flank, so I could have just fed 1 in a turn to try and at least prevent him from scoring on my turn. So, and I think that's basically all I did, because my left flank has effectively collapsed, and I'm just trying to block on the right flank just to score points and try and keep up. And I think at this point that both of our time's fairly low, but your time is lower than mine.
I think I'm under 5 minutes.
Yeah, so trying to just last as long as I can.
I roll my frenzies. I have a couple of frenzies, which eats up more time than I wanted. The having a threshold of 9 is really good. So one of the brutes charges into my other brutes. I screwed up there. Set defense doesn't count if you don't get the charge bonus for damage.
Oh, yes, right, because it's not technically a charge.
Theoretically, I hit myself anyways.
Oh,
I would have actually had a lower defense.
Right, yeah.
I think the Agonizer...
I think there was like 3 frenzies or something this turn. It was great.
Yeah, it's fine.
Bulwark does work against your frenzies. We did confirm it's just a flat def bonus. It's not like against enemy models or anything like that.
So I know this at this point in time, I'm just trying to work on muscle memory, so I want to use a couple of things that I was going to save for later, because again I'm low on clock. So I'm just going to try and get into the objective, kill the objective, prep to like get into the zones to score, but also put pressure on you on the scenario.
Yep.
So I move up and I repulse, which was my cute trick for later. I was just going to jam you and then repulse the next turn to score that zone again. But I realized that I need you back.
Repulse is great.
Repulse is great, and it's on the Agonizer, right? So like any shaman can do it, and my caster.
Yeah.
So I'm setting up to hopefully next turn walk around and just repulse both zones clear, and then just score. And I moved the brute up top and angled them so you couldn't run your mechanics because you don't have Pathfinder to my zone.
Yeah.
Without a free strike.
That's right. And they're not going to survive a free strike.
I hope not.
Yeah, so they definitely should have been into the far left flank. And that's over to me, so I'm just trying to basically clear some models. I got my Conservator up to take some swings. I believe I got positive charge also on the Conservator to take some swings on the objective, and also maybe put some damage on your Shaman there. And yeah, just trying to do as few attacks as possible, or the stuff that matters basically, but also kind of be jamming in to help prevent what you can get into my my zone. So I believe I took out the Paingivers that were there, so there's nothing on that side to get in the zone. I end up taking out the objective on this turn as well, and I think I punched your Shaman. The ladies are just dirtling around because there's really nothing for me to shoot that's not already engaged. I guess I could have shot the objective, maybe, but whoa, what just happened? I just jumped to...
We jumped because your turn was over.
Oh, okay, my turn was... Okay, and then you just repulsed.
And then I walked
Did I not destroy the objective that turn?
You did not. This turn you destroyed the objective.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
So I walked up and I repulsed again. My plan was to clear the zone, but I ended up running out of time. I think I get down to like 8 seconds or 7 seconds or something. So my plan was to move Makeda up, spray, clear some dudes, then have the brute come in and just kill the one model he needed to, and set up for the repulse next turn.
Yeah, repulse was pretty great. I use it on my angels.
But I end my turn on 4 seconds. I didn't even realize it was turn 6. So had I known that, I would have actually played out my 7th turn, which lasted 4 seconds.
Yeah, because at this point, there's nothing I can. I guess if I kill the objective and then I go.
Well, you kill the objective to tie it, and the game would theoretically go to points.
Oh, I see.
And scoring models and zones.
Hey, so Cory, I think you might have killed more models than I did.
But it's based on points.
Okay. It's like second tiebreaker or however that works.
And theoretically, you would have enough time to run a model and then run a model.
Right.
Maybe thought about it, or just trample this bottom model into a zone.
You're right. Yeah. Yeah. So
but again, I had 4 seconds, so I don't really have enough time to justifiably clean off all my stuff and resolve all my effects. And
Yeah. And here we're just talking about
Makeda's placement.
Yeah.
And what I could have done the next turn. If I had 10 more seconds, I just repulse that zone clear and I score 2.
Yeah. Yeah, because even with my stuff base to base, stuff repulse is far enough that you can hit the back guys and push them back. And then
it's 2 inches.
Yeah. So it's with my medium bases, you can still basically be moving the back guys back, and then and you only needed to move the guys like half an inch out of the zone, kind of thing. So
yeah, definitely had with the Shaman and Makeda, I could have cleared the zone.
And that was the end of the game. But that was definitely an interesting game. Mistakes were made on my part for sure. I got to learn the recursion, and I mean, this is definitely a non-standard. Like Makeda this list can just get so much work done and kill so many dudes. But I think if I had probably spread out more and kept my leaders deeper back, so that I could actually still done some recursion, then it would have been better. But technically, quote unquote, actually won on DeathClock, so that's amazing. That was very well done. So quite like this list, and I look forward to playing it some more. But thank you for the game, sir, and thank you for showing us what Makeda can do. She killed
15 models on feed turn.
Her alone.
And Molik killed 5.
And 3. You killed 3 full units.
To be honest, I think Molik could have killed that Jack too. Had I stuck him right into it.
Yeah.
Just be like, I'm just going to kill the Jack.
All the dudes. It was redonkulous. So Makeda, watch out, guys, because Makeda can get a lot of work done. Placement is very key with that list. But thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you next time. If you are enjoying the content, be sure to hit like on that video and subscribe to the channel for our future content. We'll see you next time.